We can agree that it's in everyone's best interests to investigate the threat from Alexander Grant more fully. If he is targeting shifters, unbeknownst to the Nashville pack, then that's not something you want to have take you by surprise. If he's targeting our enemies, that's not really a concern to us, Nash said. He raised his eyebrows at Jace. He ain't targeting my pack, and I'm not going to antagonize him over something that your mate, your human mate, started. You're lucky I agreed to let you come here at all. That in itself is a risk for me, considering how Grant feels about your pack. And in return for temporary access to your territory, you're expecting me to let you dump all the young males you can't keep busy into Silverlake permanently, and make them my problem, Jace said. That was Nash's offer to them, for allowing them to access his territory so they could go after Alexander Grant. He held a huge territory, all of Nashville and the surrounding area, and his pack comprised hundreds of wolves. And even so, he was running out of space. Too many aggressive young males and not enough room to run, or enough ways to burn off their energy. Wolves weren't made to live in cities and sit in boardrooms. But the last thing they needed at Silverlake was a sudden influx of aggressive males who were loyal to another alpha. They'd risk losing their pack from within after they'd worked so hard to build it. Not going to happen. Well, if you can't handle a few rambunctious young ones, said Nash's second derisively. Kane raised one eyebrow and said coldly, if you could handle them, you wouldn't be trying to dump them on us. Testosterone and dominance swirled through the room again. Jesse stifled a sigh. He said, Of course, Nash, we remain aware of and appreciate the risks you're taking. He smoothed the energy again, taking control of it, and everyone relaxed a fraction. Damn, Alpha's indominance were exhausting. However, I'm sure that there is a reasonable solution that will satisfy both parties. For example, Kane broke in, we would be willing to consider a mating alliance between our two packs. I understand that you have daughters of mating age, Amanda, Charlene. Jesse barely stopped himself from kicking Kane under the table. What the hell was he doing? This wasn't part of the negotiation strategy Jesse and Jace had laid out. It was crazy to go off script like this. They could end up backed into corners even Jesse couldn't negotiate them out of. Nash leaned back in his chair and gave a big laugh. So now we're getting to it, he said. Well, well, Monroe. You're not the first young alpha to want an ally with one of the biggest, wealthiest packs in the country. We've got a lot more business opportunities to offer y'all than the manual labor you've been doing. Animating alliance might alter my opinion on which of my young bucks I'd like to send out to those wide-open spaces y'all are so fond of. Jesse was looking down at his notes, pretending to be writing, but inside he was carefully tracking the feel of Nash's energy. It felt like this was something the other man wanted. Maybe what he'd been aiming for all along. But why? He glanced at Jace and gave him the briefest of nods. Pursue this. See where it was heading. Jace said coolly, It's true that our pack population is skewed toward the male because of the physical work originally needed to settle Silverlake. However, we're now in a position to consider alliance requests. Nash sat back, slapping his knee and laughing. Jace growled low in his chest, and Jesse reached out toward his alpha's energy, calming and focusing it. Nash was still chuckling. That's good, coming at us like you're doing us a favor. Well, let me tell you, alliances with Nashville are valuable. Y'all have plenty of land, which is nice, but it ain't worth Amanda or Charlene. I'm in talks with other packs about them. Sophia ain't spoken for, though. She's adopted, not blood, but I treat her like one of my own. Jace narrowed his eyes. Sophia, isn't she a tiger shifter? Nash waved his hand again. No. Her mama was a tiger for sure, but her daddy was one of my best enforcers, and the wolf genes are the ones that came through. She's all wolf. She don't change to tiger. But you know, some people are prejudiced, so if they got other choices, they don't offer mates for my littlest girl. Offer her a good home, a high-ranking mate, and maybe we'll see what else we can work out. She'd sure add a touch of class to your logging camp, seeing as all you got out there in the ways of females is that human gal. At the words high-ranking mate, Nash's eyes had moved casually over Jesse, dismissing him and fixed on